Hello everyone, how are you doing on this fine day? I hope you're looking after yourselves. So just very quickly before we dive into this, I am doing the solo rule, so D3 rolls for the number of foes, and then you minus a level. If there is a boss, you minus 1 level from the boss. A level up restriction is lifted, so instead of only being able to level up once, you can level up, if you level up twice, you can do. And we also have access to 3 trinkets, which I've just kind of bypassed at this moment because the main thing that we needed was something on session 1. This was put in the other video with the Crow's Nest Oath, link down to that. Just to say that Gus is now level 2, so his health has gone up by 1. Just to say that we also found 9 gold. We also got 50 gold from the quest, the mission. And we also had a protection scroll. We went to a shop called Trinkets and Things, owned by someone called Silas. We'll have actual scenes with them when I finish drawing their art. We sold the protection scroll for 100 gold pieces, so we technically had 159 gold pieces. We bought 4 bandages, and we also gave 100 of the gold to Crow Mother Elaine, as that was the cost of a health potion that she gave us. So we had 39 gold pieces. We then went to the blacksmith hall that we went to before for the lantern hook that we put on our shield, and we bought 12 arrows for 6 gold pieces. That left us with 33 gold pieces, and a person can carry up to 48, which I thought was just important to know. But let's get into this with the Crow's Nest. Morning breaks cold over Dewsburn. The fog hasn't lifted since Gus and Vraska returned. Crows still circle above the guild house, black against the grey sky. Inside the Hall of Feathers is quieter than usual. Each candle that burns today flickers blue, a sign that the forest's influence still lingers beyond its edge. Crow Mother Elaine stands at the great ledger, recording the return of Vraska and the recovered tokens. Her quill hesitates over the next line. The ink pools dark as sap as she writes, "Mirror, return to the earth. Thane, unrecovered, location unknown." She closes the ledger and turns to Gus and Vraska and speaks softly. "The forest did not release you. It sent you. That means there's more to find and more to lose." Vraska looks pale but resolute, a strip of a bandage across her temple. She speaks before Gus can. "Thane is still in there. I heard him, not with my ears, but in the ground, his voice carried through the roots." Elaine nods, expression grim. "Then we go deeper. The old maps speak of a place where sound is swallowed, the Whispering Hollow. If Thane lives, that's where the forest keeps him." Our main thing for our second quest is to enter Tamlin's forest once more to locate the Whispering Hollow and determine Thane's fate. Retrieve his token if needed. We need to return alive, mainly. Record and map new areas of the forest, and observe and document new things encountered. We got some supplies, just in case this takes a little longer. So we have 2 candles that flicker blue when in danger. And we got rations for 2 days. Mist drapes the world in pale threads, and the forest looms like a sleeping god. Only the faint call of a crow and strike of Gus's boots break the stillness. Vraska walks beside him, her eyes sharp despite the sleepless night. The black mark candle from Crow Mother Elaine burns between them, its light low and steady. As they step into the forest, the air changes. It smells of a rotting, sweet thing. For the first hour, nothing stirs but leaves. Then, a flicker. The candle's flame shivers and flares blue, just for an instant. "You see that?" Gus says. "It only burns blue when something watches. Keep moving." They press on. The trees closing tighter around them, roots knot across the path, slick and twisted like veins. The whisper of the forest follows them, faint at first, like a memory of speech. Two return. Two must stay. Vraska freezes, her hand snapping to a bowstring. It's not the wind this time. Then who? Asks Gus. She points towards a hollow where mist gathers, thick and still. Through it, faint shapes move, too slow for animals, too human for shadows. Roll an encounter. We roll in for 2d6 for this. Let's see what we get. That is a 2 and that is a 6. Which somewhat sucks. Because I kind of did this for it. And it's the Stag Shade. The Stag Shade is different than the actual stag that we fought in the first one. At first, Gus thinks it's just the fog, folding back on itself, but then he sees the antlers. Great sweeping spires of bone and shadow pierce through the haze, each one dripping with a slow, black dew that never reaches the ground. A shape steps forward, not solid, but ghostly, like caught between. It glows faintly from within, like moonlight through milk, and its eyes burn with a dim, aching red. The white stag, or what remains of it. Vraska stumbles back, whispering the hunter's curse under her breath. It's not possible. The Crow Mother said it died centuries ago. Gus lowers his shield, eyes narrowing. And what's it doing here? The creature's jaw opens slightly, and from it comes a sound not meant for the living. A low, warbling groan that vibrates through the soil and into their bones. The hunter's mark remains. The debt unpaid. The fog swirls around its legs, and now Gus sees them. Too many legs. At least 8. Each ending in a split hoof that leaves no tracks behind. Its breath mists black, and the candle between Gus and Vraska flares violently blue. I'm going to see kind of its reaction roll. So 2 to 5, it's hostile. 6 to 8, it's curious. And 9 to 12, it's more of like a warning. See what their reaction is to their intrusion. Hey, so we got 11, so it's a warning. The Stag's Shade halts. Its many legs sinking soundlessly into the earth. Its antlers sway like branches in deep water. Slow, deliberate, almost mournful. The mist gathers at its feet, thickening until it looks as though it stands upon a lake of cloud. The candle's blue flame steadies. The forest goes utterly still. Then the stag breathes. A gust of black vapour spills from its mouth, washing over Gus and Vraska. The air grows cold enough to bite skin. The mist folds inward and something unseen passes against Gus's thoughts. He hears words not in his ears but inside his skull. The hollow remembers. The roots hunger still. You took what was not yours to keep. Return the names or the forest will claim its own. The shade lowers its antlers, a single drop of black liquid falling from its eye, landing between them. When it strikes the soil, the ground sighs like breath escaping a grave. Then the creature steps backwards, fading into the fog as if melting from the world, only the echo of hoofs remaining. 8 of them. Pounding once, twice, and nothing. Vraska exhales shakily. It didn't attack us. Gus. No, it warned us. He kneels, touching the wet mark where the tear fell. The ground beneath is dark, pulsing faintly, and it left a path. A faint trail of moss glows ahead, not green, but the dull colour of dying embers. It leads towards the basin where the forest dips down into the Whispering Hollow. So what I am going to do is I am going to roll a search for this, which is 2d6. I am also going to put an S here to say that I searched. So we rolled a 9. So we'll say, beneath the moss, a thin black root pulses with faint light. When touched, it shows a flicker of a memory. Gus brushes aside the ember moss, and the soil beneath shifts, alive, pulsing with a faint inner glow. A slender black root lies just beneath the surface, twisting like a buried vein. Braska steps closer, eyes widening. Don't touch it! But Gus already has. The world folds inward like a heartbeat. Not sight, not sound, a memory forced into Gus's mind. He sees Thane stumbling through the forest, breath ragged, hands clawing against the mist. His clothes are torn, his crow token hangs by a splintered cord. Then, the roots rise from the ground like black serpents, wrapping around his wrist, his ankles, and his neck. His scream is silent, swallowed by the soil. Final image, Thane being dragged downward towards a hollow of shifting roots and pulsing earth. Then the vision snaps. Gus gasps, grasping the ground to steady himself. The root at his feet pulses once more, then shrivels into dust. You saw something. Tell me. He was alive. He was running, and the forest took him. She tightens her grip on her bow. Her voice trembles, not with fear, but fury. Then, we're not leaving without him. The ember moss trail ahead glows a little brighter, as if acknowledging the vow. The Whispering Hollow awaits. So, we walk more into this place. The ember moss trail pulses gently beneath their feet, each glow like the dying heartbeat of a fading ember. The air grows colder, tighter, as though the forest itself exhales frost. A faint hum rises through the roots, not a voice, not yet, but the shape of one. Braska moves ahead, bow raised, her breath fogs the air in thin ribbons. She turns to Gus. Your vision, it showed the roots pulling him downwards? Gus nods. Into something, a cave, a pit, I don't know. Then there's only one place deep enough for that, which is the hollow that we keep hearing about. The trees around them change, bark becoming pale, slick. Branches bend down, forming archways like ribs, and the ground dips low. So, like always, we moved into a new area. We're going to roll on the table. Going back to how it normally is, which is 11. We have a boss. So, doing what we do normally with our monsters that we have done, we are rolling a d6 for this, for we can either have an aspect, the actual white stag monster that we fought in the first one that keeps respawning, or we can do the lantern hag. So 1 to 2 is 1, 3 to 4 is 2, and 5 to 6 is 3. We have 2, so we have the aspect. So as soon as we walk into the area, we go down into where the ground dips down. We'll just do this. And this hulking 9-foot elven person made out of bark kind of comes like crawling out of the ground and goes into his full height as he stares at them. And it's not Tamlin, it's more like an aspect of him, a version, one of many of him, that is known to kind of appear in certain areas. His level is 6, but we are using the solo rule, so his level goes down by 1, so his level is 5. His life is 7, and he has some special things that he can do in this. So let's just kind of do this. So the main thing is he can do a hunter's mark. We need to roll 5 or above, or be marked for hunting. He gets a +1 towards that person until he is wounded. He can do entangling roots, which is a roll a 1d6. We 4 to 6, the roots burst from the ground if it works, and then we roll on a random hero an attack roll. They need to roll a 5 or above, or be held and cannot defend the next round, so they will get hit. There's nothing else we can do. We don't even roll against it. So the main thing is that he's going to do the hunter's mark. We will roll for Vraska, which is a 2, so she has the hunter's mark. So he gets a +1 to her. So he's going to instantly kind of raise his wooden sort of type of spear with barbs that are kind of hanging on it, and he is going to go straight for Vraska. He has a +1 to it, so we don't have any defense. So we need to roll a 6, a straight up 6. We don't get any defense, and he hits her, and she loses 1 life. He does get another attack. He's going to go for Gus now. He has a +2, so we need to roll a 4 minimum. Why am I rolling with that? Let's do this. Nope. So that's a 3. We fail. Gus also gets hurt. And then he's going to do his entangling roots, which is roll a 1d6. 4 to 6. The roots kind of burst out of the ground. We're going to roll 1 to 3. It goes on Gus. 4 to 6. It goes to Vraska. That is a 4. It goes to Vraska. And she needs to roll a straight up 5 to not be held by it. And she is held. She will get her the next round instantly. One of the attacks will go to them. So we're going to go with Gus. Gus is going to attack. We add our level to his attack now, so that's a +2. We need to get a 5 and above. So that's a +2, so that's a 6. So we do manage to hit him once. Alright, Vraska's turn. She also adds a level to hers, which is a +1. That would be a 2, which is a miss. It's now his turn again. One of the turns, instantly, he hits her. She's now at 3 health. That's one of his attacks gone. And then we're going to attack Gus. The roots kind of untangle with that hit. So that is a 4. We do not defend. Gus gets hurt. And he's going to roll again onto Gus, which it hits again. We're not doing very well, honestly. This is a bad boss to have. Now, Gus is going to attack, which is a 5, so he does hit him because he's level 5. At least we're finally hitting him. That's the main thing. 3 + 1, which is a 4, which is a miss. Fantastic. Obviously, when he got hurt originally, the Hunter's Mark faded away, so that +1 that he got disappeared. Right. He's now going to go and attack Gus. So Gus needs to defend. He needs to roll. So he doesn't get hurt. That's fantastic. He's going to swing his spear at Gus again. That's a +2. That's another miss. That's fantastic. And then he's also going to go for Vraska now. Which she does get hit. She's not looking great at all. She is wounded. She's bleeding. This isn't going well for Vraska. And I actually like Vraska as a character. Right. Gus. Oop. Gus. Come on, dude. 5. That's a hit. Hopefully we can do this. 5 + 1 is a 6, so that is another hit. That's great. We're doing good. We're doing good. He's got 3 life left. I just don't want her to get hit. Right. He's going to... We're going to roll... Yeah, no. Roll to attack Gus. 3 plus 2 is 5. We needed to roll above 5, so Gus is hit. He's got, out of 8 hit points, he's got 4 left. He's then going to go for him again. Which was a 5 plus 2, so we defend. He's going to go for Vraska. 3 plus 1 is 4. She gets hit again. Vraska lets out this huge gasp as this hurt lands really fucking hard. She's bleeding. She's kind of slumping a little bit. This is not great. Now, one thing that I forgot about with the attack is we roll this and then we roll again, adding it to our thing. So that's an 8, and we roll another one to add to it. So that's 13. So we actually hit him twice. So that's 2 hits, because that's called Dice Explosion. I believe that's how that works. So thank God for that. We just need Vraska to actually hit, just to land this blow, because if she gets hit one more time, she is gone. Thank the fucking Lord. And it's a double. Let's just roll to see what it is anyway. I mean, either way, she basically brings her bow back and she fires the shots. We're down to 16 arrows now for her. So he kind of slumps and starts to fade into the ground. Oof. Before I even go to the treasure, we have some bandages that we got. Each bandage, you can't use bandages in a fight. We've got 2 bandages, so we can actually bring back 2 health. And I'm instantly going to do that. I don't know how many bandages we can actually hold, but that's what I've basically done, is I've hoarded bandages. 2 each on Gus, and then 2 on Vraska. We're going to use that instantly to bring it back, her health. So we're on 3 out of 5. I am going to use his... I'm going to give her another bandage, so she's going to heal for another one. So she's 4 out of 5, and I'm going to use one to heal Gus as well. I do not like how bad that went. So we don't have any more bandages now. Let me just add his health up. He's from 8, he's now up to 5. So the treasure is 2d6 times 10. So that's 6. So that's 11 times 10. So we found 110 gold pieces. Watch my math be absolutely wrong. And we get 1 relic. We also do get a level up as well, because it's a boss that was killed. And I'm instantly going to put that to Vraska. She's going to go up to level 2. Her health life is... Her full one is level 6. And she also gets 1 health back. So she's up to 5 with that. Not full health, but it goes up, which I'm very happy with. We also get another spell, I believe. An elf may cast a single spell per level per adventure, but only if he/she is wearing light armor and not using a shield. An elf may carry a shield strapped to his back and waste 1 attack to ready the shield. Okay, a 2nd level elf may prepare 2 spells, and a 3rd level elf may prepare 3 spells. May find additional spells in adventures and add them to the repertoire of spells that they can prepare. Spells added when leveling may be used immediately. Also, when you do level up, you roll a d6 and you would add that to thing. And you always have to roll above level. So when you are level 1, you automatically kind of level up. So spells, we have Blessing, Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Sleep, Escape, Protect. We could do Lightning Bolt. The spell works like an attack roll. The wizard adds its level to the roll. Against a group of minions, the spell will kill just 1 if it hits. Against a boss, it inflicts 2 life points if it hits. I'm going to go with Lightning Bolt. That was a really bad experience. Vraska nearly died. I'm going to roll on the rewards, take the epic rewards here. Just for the relic. Let's see. That is a 6. A holy symbol of healing. The party is given a holy symbol that may be used only by a cleric, which we don't have. The cleric will make all healing rolls at +2 until he dies. When the cleric dies, the holy symbol can be brought to the cleric's church. If the symbol and the body of the slain cleric are delivered to the church, an attempt to resurrect the cleric will be paid by the church. If unused, the holy symbol can be sold for 700 gold pieces. So, after that, they've taken a moment just kind of to get a breather more than anything, and they're going to keep walking in, trying to find Thane, walking deeper and deeper into the hollow. Whispers are kind of like coming through in soft little ebbing waves. Let's see, 5. That's a 53. So this one will be interesting because we've not had one of these before. As they kind of go through, it's like the trees just kind of shift. And as they kind of walk further in, it turns into a type of weird wooden hallway with made out of trees. Above them, as they kind of keep going, it's like the ground has just kind of swallowed them up. It's just basically like dirt, roots hanging down from above them. With that, we actually get to roll on the corridor table. Now, the main thing with corridors is you have to kind of go in a walking order. We're going to have Gus going in first, followed by Vraska. That is an 8. It is empty, and we can search, and I will search. So, thank God for that. Okay, let's see. So, here we go. Let's see. So 1 is Wandering Monsters, 2 to 4 is empty, 5 to 6, you can find something. That is a 2. The room is empty. There is nothing in there. Okay, we're going to roll again. Let's see where we get. $21. And as they kind of walk down this strange underground sort of corridor, it opens up. The roots still hanging above them, no sky, the only light is from Gus's lantern, and it opens up, and in front of them is a strange, sort of somewhat glowing lake, and in the middle of it is a single patch of land, and against it is a giant tree, and at the roots of its tree it looks like a giant mouth. And standing there, they see Thane, alive, breathing slowly, wrapped in roots like a cocoon. His eyes are open, and he is staring directly at them. And through cracked lips, he whispers, "Don't touch the roots." What would they do? Vraska, I'm going to say, would run ahead, kind of wading through the shallow water. Gus quickly following behind as they want to set him free. They want to set him free. They want to take him home. But as they get closer, we see what happens in this room. There's an 8. So we roll on the minions table. And I have some more minions that I've also created. So let's roll for this. 6. 11. So we have a bark wretch that I created. Level 2 is 1d6. We're not going to remove any of that. It's immune to arrows, but weak to fire. Its treasure will be 2 gold pieces. It has heartwort resin, which is worth 10 gold pieces to an alchemist. And they grow where blood was soaked into the roots. So as they kind of rush forward towards Thane, how many of these crawl out of where that opening of the tree was? 5. 5 of them come crawling out. Gus is going to attack first. That's a 6. We roll another one. Sorry, Vraska, I'm going to use your dice. Which is 3 plus 2, which is 11. So we kill 5. Which is all of them. So they come crawling out, not as a horde, but one by one. So yeah, they come crawling out one by one, clawing at the earth, letting out these inhuman screeches that also sound like kind of mingled in with that voice, the sound of like creaking bark and twigs snapping, and he just starts slashing. They then keep running forward towards Thane. And the moment that Gus sees Thane's like eyes open, the terror, the plea, something in Gus's snaps. And he goes, "Hold on, we're getting you out." And he leaps kind of forward even more to where he's being held against near that opening. The floor kind of is soft and warm, and it pulses beneath his boots, kind of like a heartbeat. And Vraska runs behind him, already drawing like her own blade. She kind of drops the bow, she pulls out her own knife. And Thane kind of strains against the cocoon of roots that he's currently in. His voice kind of almost gone, and he goes, "No, don't!" But Gus is already swinging. The blade crashes down, the root splits, and a scream kind of bursts out from these roots that are holding Thane. Not a sound through air, a sound kind of like in the skull of everyone, like the entire forest is crying out in pain. Vraska clutches her head, staggering, going, "Gus, stop, stop!" The roots around Thane tightens violently, twisting and constricting, pulling taut like muscle in a spasm. Thane gasps as one wraps around his ribs, and he goes, "You're hurting it. You're hurting me." Another scream tears through the chamber. The glow from the lake kind of flashes violently, and every root kind of around that they can see begins to move slowly, purposeful and angry, and they rise kind of from the ground like serpents, disturbed in like a nest. Gus kind of grips his sword tighter, teeth clench, and he's going, "We're getting you out, just hold on." Vraska grabs his arm, her face pale with terror. She goes, "Gus, listen." The roots aren't holding him. A crack echoes overhead. A massive root slams down into the ground between them and Thane, spraying shards of soil and stone and bits of bark and tree and twigs. Vraska stumbles back, shouting, "They're keeping him alive." A low voice kind of rolls through the hollow, ancient, sorrowful, furious. Balance broken. Names taken. One must remain. The root cocoon around Thane begins to retract, pulling him deeper into the earth. The ground starts to bulge as though something beneath it is kind of waking. Thane's eyes widen in panic. "Don't let it take me." Now, I'm going to roll specific dice for this now. I'm going to roll a d4, and depending on what we roll, something will happen. So, number 1, we keep attacking the roots. Well, Gus does. Number 2, we try and grab Thane and pull with brute strength. Number 3, we listen to Vraska and stop. And number 4, we light one of the candles and invoke the oath, which is sort of like a sort of dangerous ritual, which maybe may sway the roots. So, number 1. So we keep hacking Gus out of pure desperation, even though he doesn't know Thane. This is Thane, by the way. I was hoping we would sort this out. Out of pure desperation, even though he doesn't know Thane, just because he's part of the guild, and this is, you know, part of his quest is to sort this out, maybe bring him home, or the token. He wants to save Thane. He wants to bring him back home. Because Vraska knows him, Crow Mother knows him, people in the guild adore Thane. It just depends on how this works out. I'm going to roll to see how much damage we also do to the roots that are binding Thane as well. Let's see how much damage we actually do. Oh no. Okay, let's roll another one. Okay. +2, that's 13. Okay. Gus kind of roars and brings his blade down hard, kind of cleaving into the thickest root binding Thane's chest. The steel from his sword bites deep, and the root sort of howls, obviously, a psychic scream that shakes the entire room. The walls of the living wood kind of convulse, the floor bucks like something beneath is trying to rise. Vraska clutches her head, stumbling to kind of one knee, and she's basically screaming at Gus, saying, "Gus, stop, you're killing it, you're killing him." But I swing again with that other roll that we did. The sword slices through another root. This one's spitting black, rotting, sweet-smelling sap like blood that streams upon hitting the ground. Thane jerks violently against the root cocoon that he's currently in. His screams echo through the roots, and he says, "Gus, please, it's my lungs." And the realization slams in. They're not just restraints, they're feeding him, breathing for him, keeping him alive, like Vraska said. And Gus is severing them. The ground suddenly splits open. Massive trunk thick roots erupt upwards between Gus and Thane, slamming into the roof, where the dirt is, where the roots are hanging down from trees above, shattering smaller roots like brittle bones, and the room sort of trembles. The glowing from the water where they're at glows, it intensifies, pulsing with the rhythm of a heartbeat. And a voice comes again, deeper, huskier, impossibly old, and feminine. And it says, "Balance broken, blood for breath, root for root." And every root in the room whips towards Gus like spears guided by fury. Vraska leaps between him and the oncoming roots, blade drawn, shouting, "Gus, run or fight, choose now." Thane's voice cracks behind them. "It wants one of us to stay. It won't let all three leave alive." I'm going to roll another d4 for this. So number 1, we fight. Gus and Vraska make a stand against whatever this is. Number 2, we cut Thane free and flee, but obviously it's a high risk of possibly damaging Thane more. And also maybe a possible pursuit of something, of whatever is happening. Number 3, we can try to calm the roots, maybe, but it may no longer be listening because of what we just did. Or we can sacrifice something, an oath, blood, or a token, or maybe even Thane. Oh no, we're fighting. That's a 1. We are fighting. I am worried about this. I haven't drawn a thing for this, unfortunately. It's level 5. It has 12 HP. I'm very, very worried about this. Okay, so this huge thing, this huge tree, is going to lash a root sort of tendril out and aim it towards Gus. We need to roll above a 5 to defend. 3 + 2, 5. It hits. We lose 1 health. Oh no. So we have Thane, who is trapped by the roots. It kind of whips against him. He tries to hold up a shield in time. He just misses. The blow is heavy against the shield, and it kind of wraps around the shield, and a bit of it kind of flicks and damages him. And the tendril recoils, and then Vraska kind of calls out, like, "Strike the pale ones that are coming out of it. They're kind of like, they look like smaller, weaker roots. Maybe we can try and get that." So we're going to attempt to hit. We're supposed to be lowering it, so it should be level 4. 2 + 2 is a hit. We managed to hit it once. Now it's Vraska's turn. Oh god, we're going to do a lightning bolt. So it's a +1 to our level, and if we hit, we do 2 damage to it. That is a 6! Oh. Oh, that was a miss. That rolled off. That's another 6! A 5. So 6, 12. Oh my god. 17 plus 2, that's 19. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to it. Woohoo! Ooh, I like the exploding dice thing. It's good when it works out for you. Now, Thane can't do anything because he's still tied up, but he kind of gets a little bit loose as some of the tendrils kind of give away just a little bit. It's now the root's turn. It has, oh my god, how many attacks does it have? I forgot. 2 attacks. Let's see, we're rolling to defend. That's 5, so we do manage to defend. Let's see what it gets when it attacks Vraska. That's a 3 plus 1. She does get hurt. It wraps around and it hits her. It's also going to do... We're going to see if it hurts Thane a little bit, like it's trying to draw his life out. 4 plus 2. So he manages to... It doesn't manage to get any of his life out. So that's good. So let's go back to Gus. That's a 4 plus 2. That is a 6. So that's 1 hit. Oh, let's just cross this out because we've used that. Vraska's turn. That is a 6. Plus 3 plus her level, which is plus 2, which is 11. So that's 1, 2 hits. Let's see. It's going to go for Gus first. 4 plus 2, so we defend. It's going to go for Vraska next. 3 plus 1, 4. So she gets hit, losing her health. So she's down to 3 health now. And it's going to see if it can take any life from Thane. He kind of pulls away from the roots just a little bit, somewhat getting free. If we would have rolled, obviously, nothing above a 4, he would lose 1 life, and that life would go to the root mind. Right, Gus, come on, dude. 1 plus 2 is 3. That is a miss. He swings, he misses. Vraska gets her sword ready and just kind of charges and tries to start hacking again. That's a 5 plus a level, which is plus 2, which is 7. So we do another hit to it. Right, let's see how it does with this again. We do not defend, we get hurt. It's going to lash at Vraska next again, which is 3 plus 1, which is 4, so she also gets hit. And then it's going to try to see if it can sap any of the life from Thane, which is a 6, so it does not. Right, come on. We're not looking good. 3 plus 2 is 5, so we hit it. She's going to swing with her sword again to see, hopefully... Come on, 3 plus level, which is 2, which is another hit. And all them white sort of like roots tendrils that were popping out are kind of falling to the ground, leaking rotting sap as it psychic screams in their head to see if it can do any damage. Let's see, that's a 4 plus 2 to defend, so we are fine. It's gonna... He defended from that because that would have done 2 damage to him. It's then going to swing a tendril at Vraska, which is a 6, which it does not. We defend. And then it's going to try and zap a life from Thane, which it does. So it gets 1 life back. And his life is now at, let's use these, at 4 instead of 5. Right, that's great that he can heal. That's great. Right, let's do this. 3 plus 2, which is a hit for that. Come on, Vraska. 4 plus 2, and we kill it. So, Gus kind of shifts his stance, teeth bared, blade lifted, and he says, "We finish this." Vraska answers with a grim nod. No more warnings, no more restraints, and then she says, "Then we hit hard, I'll aim for its core." The coils are like serpents preparing to strike again. Thane's cocoon kind of pulses, fast, panicked. The room kind of shakes, and Vraska kind of runs forward with her blade towards like the center of this massive towering root, because all the little tendrils have been kind of cut away. And she charges forward, sword kind of in front to a side, ready to kind of stab into it as hard as she can. And as she does, she screams with like all her might as she rushes forward and she pushes this sword into kind of the core of this root. And it's weird because where she's kind of aimed at, it's like it is soft, and it pushes in as she screams, as she forces it in, and the room vibrates and shakes. An echoing scream kind of comes out of this thing, and everyone kind of loses a health from this damage as it does one last screaming kind of sort of psychic damage from it. And it is the sound of a dying forest spirit, and it echoes through every tree branch, every root, and every inch of this whole area. Thane's cocoon loosens, the roots fall limp around him, and Vraska kind of takes her a moment, but she manages to wiggle and pull her sword out of this, panting hard. And she goes, Did I? And Gus nods and goes, "You killed it, you did it." And for the first time in, let's say, around 30 years since this war started, when everything started to pick up again, the Whispering Hollow, this area, is silent. The glow from the lake kind of starts to fade away. The walls that were once shifting and alive now kind of like are still. They're just trees. And then Vraska moves forward to Thane and just starts cutting away the dead roots with shaking hands. He falls forward, gasping and coughing up black sap from his lungs. But he is alive. And he says, "You killed it. God. Thank the gods." And the moment is quiet. Still. Holy in a way only ruined things can be. But beneath Gus's boots, the ground feels wrong. The forest was not just a beast, it was a system, a balance. And he thinks they may have cut its heart out. All three of them sit down. They pull out their 2 days worth of rations and they share it between all of them as they sit down. And with the broken roots and part of broken trees that are around them on this little bit, they make a fire and they camp to just kind of recuperate and rest. And they sit in pure silence as they stay in the area and rest. And that is where we leave it. We will be leaving it where they are staying here, they are resting, they are recuperating. We have Thane, he has spells, he is a cleric, a level 1 though. We did do a boss as well. We could technically level him up, which we will do at the next one. But at the moment they are just resting, hoping to hopefully get some of their health back as they use some of the rations. And we'll see what happens afterwards, how the forest responds to them. Because maybe cutting out the heart was not the smartest thing to do. Thank you for watching. Stay awesome. Comment down below what you thought, what you think even. And I'll see you all next time for session 3. Stay awesome, much love. And is the forest actually dead? Let me know your thoughts.
Every chapter, a new path to see. Turning the page, just the story and me.